The Los Angeles Rams have found a play so unstoppable, you might as well call it the new version of the Tush push, and it's literally just throwing the ball to Davante Adams in one-on-one coverage near the goal line. Davante Adams has 12 receiving touchdowns on the season, but of those 12, 9 of them have been in the last 5 games he's played. Since Week 7, the bye week in Week 8, and then onward, they have targeted Davante Adams in goal-to-go situations 10 times, and 8 of them have been completed for touchdowns, with just 2 falling short. Not only that, but 5 of the touchdowns are on the exact same play call, with the only adjustment being if Davante wants to run a goal line fade or goal line slant. The formation, personnel grouping, and motion pre-snap exactly the same on 5 of his 8 touchdowns in the last 5 weeks. The Rams have found their unstoppable repeat play. Since Week 7, this play right here, this one, is the second longest touchdown Davante Adams has caught. This play is also one of the 5 plays, and by the way, they're 5 for 5 out of this. It's the same personnel group, same formation, same pre-snap motion. They do it 5 times throughout this 5-game span. This is one of them. It's 13 personnel. That is 3 tight ends and 1 running back. That's what 13 personnel is. They're going to get a pre-snap motion from the single tight end over to the double tight end side, and they're going to all block down, and this tight end is going to kick out the end man. So we're blocking down this way. It is a run play called where Matthew Stafford has the option to hand the ball off to, in this case, Blake Corum. Or he can take the one-on-one matchup with Davante Adams. Here he's going to fake the slant and then work to the fade, and he's just going to put the ball right on Davante because he's so miserable to guard one-on-one. It can't be done. This time, they even try to adjust. They're going to bump this guy out into the slant window to take care of it, but Davante just smokes his man and wins on the fade. Doesn't matter. Great ball placement, goes up and gets it. He's unstoppable. Going back to the start of the streak against the Jaguars in Week 7, the first touchdown in Davante's 3-touchdown game versus the Jags. Same formation, same personnel grouping, same motion, fade to Davante Adams. And then third touchdown. Now they come out in 11 personnel, wrinkle, different formation, but they're going to use one of their receivers like a blocking tight end. They're going to motion him across the formation, similar looking play, fade to Davante Adams. Then against the New Orleans Saints, they're going to come out, same personnel grouping, 13 personnel, formation, pre-snap motion, slant to Davante Adams. This is just about 6 minutes before the play I just broke down against the Saints on the fade. Then they're going to go against the Seattle Seahawks, and right after throwing an incomplete pass, one of just 2 that they've had on the goal line in the past 5 games, they're going to throw a slant to Davante Adams on the goal line, one of 2 slants. Same personnel group, same formation, same pre-snap motion. Then against the Buccaneers, they come out again. Same formation, same personnel grouping, same pre-snap motion, fade to Davante Adams. Now, you might be wondering, geez, Randy, do they ever even run the ball out of this formation and look, or do they only throw it to Davante Adams despite the fact that you're saying it's a run play? Well, they have handed it off twice, both against the Saints in Week 9 on back-to-back plays. You're going to see this is the same personnel grouping, same formation, same motion. Might be a slight difference in the way Davante Adams is lined up, and there is some variation in Davante Adams' width away from the rest of the formation in his lineup from play to play. But the rest of the essence of the formation is the same, which is why I've been calling it the same. Here you're going to get that same motion. You see him coming across, and they are going to give it to Kyren Williams up the gut, and he's going to get stuffed. He's going to fight his way down to the goal line and get stopped at the 1. Then they come back the very next play, exact same formation, exact same personnel grouping, same motion, give it to Kyren again on 4th and goal for the touchdown. Those are the only 2 times they've handed the ball off on this look since Week 7. Out of Davante Adams' 10 goal-to-go targets, since Week 7, 6 of them have been in 13 personnel, and this is the only one that does not completely mimic the other 5. This goal-to-go target and touchdown to Davante Adams is the only one since Week 7 that came in 12 personnel specifically. 12 personnel is 1 running back and 2 tight ends. And once again, the Rams are running a run play with a pass option off of it. They're going to run this little rub concept here, but the spacing isn't super tight, so there's not really much of a rub action. This is just going to be Stafford saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and float this one out to Davante because there's no way this defender is going to run with them. I just got to make sure that these guys don't kind of banjo this and they end up running with their guys. And because the spacing is so far, they really can't afford to banjo it. So they're just going to have to go man-to-man, one-on-one, and this guy's going to have to run with Puka, this guy's going to have to run with Davante, and it's nearly impossible to cover. And you're going to see, how do I know it's a run play? Well, he's got O linemen going down the field. And honestly, They're probably slightly fortunate that this isn't called for an illegal man. He gets super close to getting too far down the field. He's in the end zone. Looks like he's got about half a foot behind the line of scrimmage here, so they do not call, or behind the 1 yard distance away from the line of scrimmage. So they hold the flag, and it's a perfect throw and a great route. He's just unguardable one-on-one. The remaining 3 targets for Davante Adams in goal-to-go situations from inside the 5 since week 7 are right here. So 11 personnel here. That's 1 tight end, it's 1 running back, and it's 3 receivers. But they're going to condense these receivers over here to make this look like a run all the way. They're going to run play action. When they get hyper-aggressive, he's just going to pull it and dump it one-on-one. And Stafford just says Greg Newsome's not going to hang with Davante Adams, and he guesses right because Davante makes a great catch. The other was the 3rd touchdown against the Jaguars that I broke down earlier, and then this one. Very, very similar formation. You're going to have Puka Nacua, and then the tight end down here, and then wide receiver here. Very similar looking situation. They're going to fold this wide receiver in, who's very similar to a tight end to block. They're going to throw a goal line fade to Davante. Incomplete. Although they've only ran the ball twice so far in that 13 personnel look, I expect them to do it more if teams start actually doubling Davante Adams, which might be something they have to consider with how unguardable he's been one-on-one. That, or the Rams might just have to change things up if they're finally able to play a team that has a corner that can bottle up Davante. But right now, there are no answers. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I will see all of you in the next video. Peace.